What's up, everybody? I'm Jay.
And I'm Destiny.
And we're back with another episode of Black Fire. Thank you guys for tuning in. We want to personally thank you for just liking and commenting, sharing our videos. We really do appreciate it. It means a lot to us. This episode, we're going to start off by talking about Lovecraft. It's a new show that's on HBO, and it's just a lot of crazy stuff going along. So we just wanted to go ahead and put this review out. And spoiler alert, if you guys haven't watched it yet, we definitely want you to go back and watch it, and then come here and we'll all have a discussion about what we just seen.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is give a little bit of background into Gia. She's actually one of the main characters. So we first met Gia when Atticus was having a hallucination in a Lovecraft mansion.
Right.
So she had popped out in a Korean uniform and they started fighting. He was calling her Gia. So now it jumps to her story. So her story begins when she was watching a Judy Garland movie called Meet Me in St. Louis. So she started dancing and singing, but then we find out it was all her imagination.
Right.
So Gia goes home and her mom comes out with kimchi and they started making kimchi together. So Gia tells her mom Uma that the neighbors were throwing a party and that they should go. But Uma disagrees and believes that there is dishonor to their family because her husband had died.
Right.
So Uma tells you that she just needs to bring a man home, which to me, it made it seem like she needed to bring a husband home.
Right, or like somebody that was just being introduced to the family.
Yes, I thought she needed like a high up husband, so I was like, okay, I guess. So Gia was telling her mom Uma that she could bring honor back to her family by getting her nursing degree. But Uma was like, nah, I don't care about that nursing degree. I need you to go get a man.
Right, ASAP, right now.
So it jumps to Gia in nursing school, and she's taking an exam to identify body parts. So a nursing student named Young started talking about a man who was infatuated with her. He started like falling in love with her.
And disclaimer, we know her name is not Young. We just don't want to butcher her name.
I don't want to mess it up for y'all.
Neither one of us are Asian, so we don't want to. We just don't want to say.
I don't want to touch that stuff.
Right.
I think her
it's
name
beautiful when it's said right. It's ugly when we try to say it. So her name is just Young for now. Go ahead,
yes. So Young is talking about how this man is infatuated with her, how he's in love with her. And so all the other nursing students are like, wait a minute. Like, you need to teach me the tricks. How is this man in love with you after a date?
What you do.
Yeah, exactly. So
Tell us, sis.
So they started talking about that. So it jumps to actual a speed dating round between the nursing students, I think the engineering students or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it makes it seem like the men are choosing which women that they want to date.
Right.
Not the other way around.
It's not mutual.
No, not at all. So Gia goes to the speed dating thing. It doesn't work out for homegirl.
She tried.
She tried her best. She tried to use all the pickup lines, but she just does not have any game, not at all. But she tried her best.
And you'll soon find out why.
Yes. So she almost thought that she got a man because they started talking. It was vibing. He was talking about how he also likes Judy Garland movies. And she was like, oh, I like Judy Garland movies. Like, what's your favorite, like, songs or whatever? So they started talking. And then last minute, this dude was like, nah, I'm sorry. But
he X'd out her box.
Yeah, but good luck best to you. Like, what? Like, at the last minute, she thinking like she gonna go out on a date with him, that she got a man, but nope. He ended up asking out Young,
which is her best friend.
So Young tells her like, "Hey, you want to go to a bar with us? Because this man is boring.
Right.
I don't want to be alone with him." So they end up going to a bar. And Gia actually she picks up a man and she brings him home. So they start having sex. So while they're having sex, she ain't into it at all, but he is.
Yeah, he is making all the faces, all the noises. This man's just happy to be there.
He was having the time of his life, but
until
so these weird fairy tentacle things start coming out of her vagina, coming out of her ears, coming out of her nose, her mouth, her eyes, and started going to his corresponding holes. Which I was like, what the fuck is going on? Is she a tarantula?
This is the first 10 minutes of the episode. Yeah, it's crazy.
30 minutes has been like the first 10 fucking minutes. So this dude explodes. And then Uma comes in and she just like, you need to bring another man home.
So at this point, everybody's confused. We're just like, it was normal until.
I was like, oh, she's so adorable.
Right. And if you watch Lovecraft, you pretty much know that's just how it goes. Most of the time, it's like, oh, okay, cool. It's a normal episode. Okay, I know what it's about. And then it just keeps going and going. And you're like, okay.
Am I on drugs?
Right. It's good drugs, though. Jumps to the summer of 1950. And it brings us back to where Gia is basically in a movie theater watching one of her favorite movies again. But instead, this movie theater is like pretty crowded. They all get interrupted from watching the movie. They run out because they hear American war trucks. And basically the American soldiers are just passing out like propaganda and like flyers of like, don't fear, the Americans are here. We're going to help you, save you from the communists and
that part
all
made
that
me
stuff.
laugh because they said it with no emotion. Like they knew that they was lying.
Right.
They're just like, here, take this damn, just take this damn flyer.
They're just doing their jobs, So then Gia picks up like a couple of flyers and kind of just looks at them and is kind of confused about really what's going on. I guess this is like something new. She's really not like,
yeah, she doesn't really understand.
Yeah, she's just like, okay, this is whatever. She doesn't really care either.
No.
So then it jumps to her throwing the flyers into the fire where her mom is making her favorite dish. And Gia's kind of like, why are you making this? Like, it's not New Year's or anything like that. There's really no reason to be making it. And then her mom is like, well, you don't remember? It's your birthday. And then Gia's like, yeah, no.
She didn't remember that.
She didn't remember her own birthday. So then it goes to them sitting down at the table, and Gia brings up the fact that she remembers her father liked anchovies in this special dish. And then her mother kind of gets upset with her and is like, why are you bringing him up? I don't really care. You don't have to talk about him. And Gia's just explaining that she could still see her father's memories. Apparently, when Gia's having sex or intercourse with men and the nine tails attached to these men, she can then absorb the memories from them. So that's the reason why she kind of remembers what happened with her father. And her mother gets upset and just basically says, just bring home another man. I don't care. Yeah, we're not talking about this. We're not doing this. Just bring home another man. As soon as you consume, I believe it was 100 souls, then you will be finished. And at this time, Gia was on her 98th soul. So from then, it goes back to the hospital. And now all the American soldiers are coming in hurt and injured and wounded, and they need medical treatment. And Gia is now like a nurse, along with her other nurse friends. So Gia and her best friend Young goes to grab this one dude who's like an American white man, and basically he's like cussing everybody out, being racist, and just like saying a bunch of like racist and derogatory terms to everybody that's kind of trying to help him, which is weird because I was like, I will roll your ass out. You can walk home, sir.
Being straight disrespectful. Like, I'm not saying you injured, but don't get it twisted. I will roll your ass out.
Right. They were only there to help him.
Yeah.
So he then grabs Gia by her arm and like twists the hell out of it and like damn near almost breaks it. And Young goes grabs something to stab the dude in the arm with, just to put him to sleep. The dude is asleep. Young basically goes over there just to check out Gia's arm, make sure she's okay. And then Young says that she likes Gia's socks, which was like kind of like
Yeah, I was like, is she hitting on her? Is she like, oh, them ankles look real good today? Like,
yeah,
is that what that was?
Is that like code for like that ass? Just because they all had on the same socks.
Yeah,
like
I was like, okay,
right. It was nothing really special about her socks. Everybody was wearing
Not
uniform. Maybe she was just trying to make her feel better. I'm not sure.
I don't know about all that. Like, I think she was hitting on her. Like,
Right. But anyway, she gets really happy. Like Gia feels like, oh yeah, I got the good socks. And it just makes her cool. So then Young walks away from her and she goes to the doctor and talks to him about something. But at this point, Gia is seeing them whisper back and forth to each other, which she found kind of odd.
Yeah, she was really suspicious of them.
Right. So then it goes to them walking home after that, and Gia pulls Young to the side and she's basically like, hey, I know you're a communist. And then like Young gets like all super startled because they're around like American soldiers walking home. So then she was like, oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna tell anybody or anything like that. And as they're talking, they see the Americans come up with the Asian dude and basically just randomly hung him from a pole, and everybody was like shouting like, kill the communists, kill the communists. So
that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, and then Young was like, oh, that's why it's just weird because we're all human. Like, I don't really understand why doing this way or being this way is wrong, to everybody else. I wish we could just all kind of get along type of thing. So then it jumps to as Gia is talking to her friend Young and, just discussing the fact that she was a communist. The Americans then roll up with somebody who they believe was a communist and just like kind of randomly hung him.
Yeah, they didn't even know. They were just like, I'm gonna just hang this dude, which is fucked up.
Right. So Young got really scared and she started shaking, and she just basically explained why she didn't understand everybody couldn't get along, why is being a communist wrong, and just really going into that. After that, it jumps back, and now Gia is at home with her mother, and they're cleaning up blood and kind of like the sacrifice room where they had the other dude.
Yeah. Now she's on her 99th one.
Right, now she's on her 99th guy who happened to be an American soldier. That she had seen earlier at the hanging site. So basically, Gia is now just kind of wondering why, she's doing all this, and basically is questioning the mom, like, I've seen the stepdad's memories of your daughter, and it seemed like he loved her, and more of like she just didn't understand why it was wrong.
And I feel like at this point, that's when she's actually starting to gain like human emotion and like feelings.
Right.
So while she's questioning it, she's asking Uma, and then Uma's explaining to her that he hurt her daughter, and that kind of love is wrong. So Gia asks, like, is that why she was summoned? And Uma says yes, because her husband was a monster. And Gia wonders why she has to kill like a monster. Like, it doesn't make sense to her.
Right. She doesn't really want to be human just because she feels like everybody that she slept with, that she basically, killed, was all bad. Right. So she's still the 9 Fox spirit, and she's basically like, I just want to stay this way because I don't want to be human. You guys are all kind of fucked up.
Exactly. So Uma believes that when Gia becomes human, that she can regain her memories and her emotions. But Gia, she doesn't want to take another soul.
Right.
She doesn't want to become a monster. But Uma disagrees, and she just wants her daughter back desperately. And then Gia, she doesn't want to be human. She believes all humans are bad. She doesn't care how, and then Uma just doesn't care how Gia feels.
Right.
She's like, she just wants her daughter back. She can care less.
And she
Gia doesn't want to kill anybody.
Right. And she keeps basically telling her, like, you don't have any feelings. You don't have any feelings. You don't have anything you say to me, it don't matter. You're not my daughter. You're the 9-tailed fox spirit. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, like, why you're here.
Right.
So anyway, like, Gia feels that she let's see, where did I leave off? So the reason why Uma took Gia to the shaman was to get rid of her husband, because her husband was raping Gia multiple times.
Right.
So she got a shaman to summon the 9-tailed fox to kill her husband,
which is the new Gia. She's been like that since she was little. That's just the reason why she couldn't really remember her birthday or anything like that, because she doesn't have any memory of it. She doesn't
have like the actual Gia memory. She just has the stepdad's memories. That's why she's confused, like, why is that type of love wrong?
Right.
And so like she started singing like a nursery song, and then like the mom was like, oh, I had taught you this song. She was like, no. Like, I used to sing this song every time my stepdad raped me.
Well, young Gia.
Yeah, Gia.
Not the 9-tailed fox.
So, like, she just starts, like, the mom starts crying. She just shuts the door. And she just, like, no. So, it jumps to Gia and the other nurses actually being rounded up by American soldiers. Because, like, they found out that one of them is a communist. So of course Young is scared, like, oh shit, like they know it's me.
Right.
So they start questioning the nurse, and then one of the soldiers he just randomly just shoots one of the nurses. Right. That's not even a communist. Like, he doesn't give a shit.
They don't really go as far as to like questioning them. It was just more like, who is it? Oh, you're not speaking. Pop.
I'm gonna just shoot you.
All right.
So Atticus just comes on, and then he was just like, all right, I'm gonna shoot this nurse. So like she protects Gia, and then she was just like, it's me. Like, don't kill anybody else. Let's see. So it skips to fall 1950, and Gia is back at the hospital, and she sees Atticus, and she wants revenge.
Right.
Because she wants her best friend is dead.
Her blood is boiling, and like she remembers that Atticus had actually killed one of them, and then Atticus actually turned the gun on Gia at one point, and she was about to shoot her before her best friend had stepped in. Right.
Exactly. So she plans on killing him, and then she tells Uma that she changes her mind, and she's gonna make him her 100th soul. But after she gets to know Atticus, she changes her mind because she starts to fall in love with Atticus. And then like after a movie night, after a movie night of her favorite movie, of the Judy Garland movie, they wanted to have sex, but Gia, she doesn't want to hurt him because of her nine-tailed fox.
Right. And she really starts like seeing that Atticus is not a bad person. It was more of him just following orders, even though it wasn't right.
He made a mistake. Yeah, he was wrong for that.
Right. So after the night of romance, it jumps to Gina coming back to the base and basically just confronting him about what he's done. She couldn't hold it in anymore, and basically saying when she saw him at the hospital, how she just felt like super upset, and she had lightning raging through her, and all she wanted to do was just kill him because he killed her best friend and the other nurses.
Girl, yeah, I would do the same if somebody tried to kill you. I'm like, I'm gonna have to kill you.
Right. we ain't falling in love with nobody over here.
You're gonna have to die.
Gotta go. So basically, Atticus was just like, well, I was just following orders, it wasn't anything personal, which I thought wasn't a good enough excuse, but it kind of was, but it wasn't. It was just
to me, it was both. Like, I understand both sides.
Right. It was just like, but to me, I would have been like, yeah, but you killed my friend.
You still gotta die. Like, my best friend is gone. Like,
because of you. So, basically, after he explains that he just did it because of orders and things like that, they both kind of just let bygones be bygones and just kind of let it go. So then it jumps to Gina at her mother's house, and she's explained to her mother now how she can feel feelings, how she's in love with him, how her best friend cared for her, and that she's no longer she doesn't really feel like the nine-tailed fox anymore. She feels
more human.
Right.
Yeah.
She's starting to gain more understanding from the people that she's encountered, and she doesn't want to continue with the 100th person that she has to kill, which would have been Atticus, right?
Yeah, she was really planning to kill him. Yeah.
Right. So, then the mother basically says, well, how could he love you? He doesn't really even know you. He doesn't know what type of monster you are. You don't feel anything. So she's just basically just going against what she's saying. She's like, I really don't care what you're saying. I want my daughter back.
Her
you have to do it.
Constantly just belittling her. Like, you don't have no feelings. You are a monster. But, like, you don't want to summon her in the first place.
Right. And then she goes as far as to say, I'm not your mom. Basically, just stop calling me that because me and you have no connection. I just want my daughter back, you know? And let's see, I'm gonna skip this part. Okay, so then it skips to the winter of 1950, and Gia and Atticus. Is it Atticus?
Atticus.
Atticus?
Atticus.
Atticus?
Atticus.
Girl, why you saying it like
Atticus.
that? Atticus?
Atticus.
Okay. So it skips to I'm gonna just start over. It skips to winter in 1950, where Gia has been hanging out with Atticus, and she decides to read the book of the Nine-Tailed Fox, basically just to see how he'll react to it. And it kind of told the story of how everything became to be and why the Nine-Tailed Fox is in Gia. But him not really knowing, he didn't really care. He had something else on his mind and he wanted to tell her. He basically told her, like, well, anyway,
you put that book
that's
down.
Cool, but I'm just gonna stay out here with you because I love you, and that's just how it's gonna be. Gia was kind of like, no, you should just go, it don't really make sense, kind of pushing the idea off, but he insisted. He really wanted to stay. He really did love her. They were in love. So at that point they had sex again, and Gia thought that she could control the Nine Tails, which she couldn't this time, and it connected to most of his holes.
It almost got his ass.
It almost got his ass.
Like, within a split second, that nigga would have exploded.
Right. Because once that goes in, that's it. Yep. You know, it basically travels all the way up through and pulls them apart.
Yeah.
And has a good hold. So at that point, Gia basically just regains control of it and basically sucks it back all into her, and Akin was like,
what the fuck going on?
I'm out.
You didn't tell me this. No, I'ma bounce. And
right.
She just like, wait. And he's like, fuck no.
He ran out butt naked.
I gotta leave.
He ran out ass naked into the snow away from her. So then, you know, of course, Gia's crushed, so she's crying and stuff like that. The mom comes in and is just like, told you, like, he's not gonna like you. So then when the mom comes in, she's like, oh, you know, I told you so, whatever. And Gia's basically like, well, I'm not crying because he left. I kind of expected that. You know,
she knew.
I am a nine-tailed fox. Even though she thought that she pretty much could control it, she knew at one point that she wouldn't be able to do anything about it. But it was more of the vision that she had when she connected to him, and she basically saw him dying if he was to go home, back to America. Was it Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago.
Right. So then she decides to go with her mother to the shaman that actually made her the nine-tailed fox, and basically asks if it was true, if it would happen if he returned back, which it pretty much is.
Yeah, the shaman was just like, he's gonna die.
Right.
I don't know what price they're gonna have to pay, because remember they were saying like, oh, you didn't complete the 100 soul, you just had 99. There's gonna be a price just for asking this question. So I don't know what happened to her.
I'm not sure. I don't know if the shaman was more of like, oh, are you coming back to ask me to take the thing out of you again because you didn't finish and that wasn't the deal? But since they didn't ask that, they asked if he was just actually gonna die. I don't know if it was the same. Yeah.
Hopefully not, because she need a break.
Right. She been going through a lot. And I noticed with this show, like, the women go through a lot. Not saying the men don't. I'm not taking away from them either.
I feel like more towards the women. It's like, damn, but can they just have
one break?
A break? just one good episode. Just one more episode where everybody's just chilling, having a good time. Right. You know, no random killings, no random weird wolf, like worm thingies, wherever the fuck they are. So. This one episode, but damn, that was good.
Yeah, it was really good. It was, to me, the far most intriguing one so far.
Yeah,
right.
That shit, I was not expecting that shit at all. And I'm looking forward to like the rest of the episodes. Like I just want the story to just continue. Like, HBO, do not fucking cancel this show. Y'all have a habit of canceling good ass shows. Don't cancel this fucking show.
Right. It's really interesting. If you guys haven't watched it, we really advise you to go back. Sorry for the spoiler alert. Yeah. We just wanted to kind of just go through it just in case you guys didn't have time. It is like a whole hour.
Yeah, it's a pretty long episode.
Right.
Yeah, they're all an hour long. Yeah,
but it's definitely worth it. What do you think is going to happen from here?
Okay, so I have a weird ass theory. Okay. I feel like somebody's gonna turn into George, because you know how George is technically dead, and you know how Will/Christina, bitch, could turn into William, and William of course is dead. You know, so I think because George is dead, I feel like somebody's gonna turn into George and try to trick his family. So I feel like that something like that is gonna happen pretty soon.
I don't know. I feel like with this show, I get so into each episode that I just kind of want the answers after. Like, you know how like a regular show goes. It's like, okay, something happens.
Like Scooby-Doo and shit. Like, I gotta solve this mystery. Like,
right. It's like something happens and then it leads on to like, okay, what happens after that? What happens after that? But this show kind of like jumps around, which is kind of cool because it kind of keeps you interested in what's going on. But now I kind of don't care about the rest of it. I just want to know what happened to Gia.
I kind of like it because I'm like looking for little clues, trying to like put pieces together, trying to find like little theories and stuff like that. So I kind of like it like that, you know, like they don't have to explain everything right away because you wouldn't watch the rest of the episodes. I would. I don't know if I would watch it.
I don't know. I already started it. Might as well finish it.
That's true.
But I mean, you know, Jordan Peele, like what is he? Producer?
Yeah, I think he's producing.
Oh yeah, so
fucking amazing.
I mean, what you gonna expect? This shit gonna be crazy. So I don't know. I like it though.
Did you have any other theories for it?
No.
Oh, I have one more. I don't think Christina's dad is dead. I feel like he died a little bit too easily. Mm-hmm. I feel like he gonna pop up and be like, Christina, like, you tried to kill me, bitch? William too? I pop the fuck up.
I kind of just don't have any theories just because you don't know the show. You think you know, and then something else happens.
I be thinking like, oh shit, I saw something. Then you just throw some shit in there and like, oh shit, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. Fuck. I might as well just go buy the book.
Right. So anyway, y'all, thank you for again liking and commenting and sharing our stuff. Please share it some more. It will really help us out. Please. We're trying to come up with more content, trying to do more stuff, and also follow us on the same channel, but we also do gaming, we do other reviews, we do discussions.
Follow us on Twitch.
Right, so we can get that Twitch popping. We do like to play Tekken, so you know, you want to come and get your ass whooped, you come to our Twitch. And yes, we are calling you out.
Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Peace out.